morning, it's June 1st, and this is To My Liberal Friends. Kevin McCarthy came out the winner in the House debate and voted on the deal cut with Joe Biden to raise the debt limit. It was not without pain, as he took significant votes from the Democratic side, but in the end, the bill passed 314 to 117, with 71 Republicans and 46 Democrats voting against the bill. Well, this was not unexpected, and I've been saying all along that the far right of the Republican caucus and the far left of the Democrats would vote no. The Freedom Caucus, or like I like to call the Freedom from Governing Caucus, the Republicans that come from ruby red districts, they can do whatever they want without fear of political repercussions, they denounced the bill and said it did not go far enough. They demanded deeper spending cuts to get their support. Well, being honest, I would have liked to have seen more cuts, but I also realized this was a negotiation, and each side had cards to play, so neither side was going to get everything they wanted. Anyone that has read the 99-page bill or the analysis of the bill can only come to the conclusion that McCarthy got more of what he wanted than Biden. Republican Representative Patrick McHenry from South Carolina, who was on McCarthy's negotiating team, called it, quote, the most conservative spending package during my time in Congress, adding that for the first time in a debt limit negotiation, the U.S. will spend less money than it did the year before, end quote. Now, if we're honest, and nobody really is in this type of discussion, Joe Biden and the House Republicans would have shared the blame if the deal had not been cut and the bill had failed in the House, and that would have meant more blame on Republicans. Kevin McCarthy turned out to be a tough negotiator and won some significant concessions. Domestic discretionary spending authority in the deal will be $112 billion below the CBO baseline for fiscal 2024 and $136 billion below the baseline for 2025. Republicans also get better leverage to avoid being jammed with another giant omnibus bill this year. Defense spending for the next 2 years is inadequate in the deal, but the biggest critics on the right don't object to defense cuts. But that did not satisfy the Freedom Caucus, who held a press conference denouncing the bill, making it clear they would vote no. The dumbest argument is North Carolina Representative Dan Bishop's that the deal is cause for deposing McCarthy, as if the Speaker is the obstacle to more conservative victories. Mr. Biden and the Democratic Senate are the obstacles. If Republicans wanted more victories on legislation this year, they should have won more election victories in the House and Senate last year. And if some of those obtuse politicians on the right would realize that Donald Trump caused them to lose the elections in the Senate last time, they might start to figure out that supporting him in 2024 will only bring more of the same. And as bad as the comments from the right, they were worse from the left. They wanted President Biden to invoke the 14th Amendment and simply do an end run around Congress. Well, Biden realized, or at least his staff did, that it would immediately be challenged in court, and it's doubtful he would have prevailed. Then he went back to the negotiating table with a weaker hand. The ultra-liberals in the Congress wanted to just keep spending with no regard to the debt. They see this deal as some form of handcuffs on them and their zeal to fund an even bigger government. The bill now goes to the Senate, and because of Rule 22, the filibuster rule, Chuck Schumer and Mitch McConnell will have to produce 60 votes to move the legislation. At least one Republican Senator, Mike Lee, from my state of Utah, has warned that he might offer resistance. On Wednesday, he called the bill a, quote, fake response to burdensome debt, and said he will emphatically vote no. He pledged to file a bunch of amendments, but also suggested he wouldn't hold up the bill past Monday as long as votes are held on the amendments. Well, as I said, Mike Lee's my senator, but I disagree with him on this tactic. He was just reelected, so he has another 6 years, so he can be somewhat of an obstructionist. Senator Rand Paul has also said he wants to vote on deeper spending cuts. Both of these senators will probably vote no. And you can be assured that Bernie Sanders, the socialist from Vermont, will vote no and denounce the bill. He had joined in the chorus of saying Biden should invoke the 14th Amendment. But here's the reality. I think all of those opposing the bill in the Senate realize it's going to pass. They could allow the Senate to vote up or down quickly, but unfortunately, right now that doesn't look like the plan. Having the Senate spend 2 to 3 days voting on amendments that will not pass will not endear the authors to their colleagues. And in the end, the bill will pass, and we will get on with doing some other things that Congress needs to do. This has been To My Liberal Friends. Thanks for listening. If you have a comment, please make it. And if you like the podcast, recommend it to your friends.